Hey class, Mr. Herbert here. So we're gonna try OnShape. We're gonna try a couple of these parts here. We'll try to knock out the first four. So we'll see how it works. If you guys can get on it, it's awesome. If not, let me know. Email me. We'll try to hammer it out. But we're gonna try the first four here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the isometric drawings picture there. The first one, we're just gonna treat each of these blocks as 0.25 inches. So if you got 4, it's worth 1 inch, right? So in order to create a part, we're going to go up here to the create button. Just click on that. We're going to make a new, let's go ahead and make a new folder. All right. For this folder, just call it PLTW for right now. That's all I need. If we do this next year, we can rename the folders or whatever to whatever class you're in right now. But just for today, just put in PLTW, and we'll save everything in this PLTW folder best as we can. All right. So double click, or just click open PLTW. You're in that folder. This way you can just share this one folder with me, right? And I can go back to your folder and see if you got them done. And we'll see if we save it that way or not. I might have you the link actually onto Canvas. We'll figure that out when we get done here. Let's go ahead and create it, a new document, and we'll start 3D model. So create new document. We're going to title this, we'll just say it's number 1 for right now. Type in number #1. You can just put 1. You can put you can put whatever you want to. I don't really care. Put number 1 on it for right now, I suppose. So in here we've got sketches, we've got extrude, revolve, we've got a bunch of different tools up here. We've got fillets and chamfers, a lot of the stuff that we've used before. A whole lot of other different options. They're really tiny. There's no words to them unless you hover over them. So just be aware of that. A lot of the tools that we've used before are here. You just kind of have to look for them. Okay. So we're going to start at number 1. It's going to be really simple, really easy. So click on sketch. This will make a new sketch for us. Same thing. We don't have X, Y, Y, Z, mumbo jumbo. A little bit easier here, right? We're just going to click on front. You can click front. You can click top. You can click right. We will do front view. The view I like. The one thing I don't like about this is it does not automatically go to the view that we want it. What you will have to do is probably click on the view cube over here. Click on front. All right, so we're gonna start here with number 1. So if we look at it, it looks like it's an inch high, an inch wide, approximately, maybe 0.75 wide. Okay, so we're gonna start with a line. So we got lines, we got rectangles here, circles, all this good stuff. I'm gonna start with a line, and it's kind of tricky, a little bit different from Autodesk Inventor. The way I used to do it on Autodesk Inventor, I would start by placing a point and then moving my mouse where I wanted my line and then putting the dimension in. In this program, you have to do the 2 points first and then edit how long you want your lines. It's kind of weird. So we'll click line, click in this origin point right here. So we'll click once. We're just going to move it up. You can notice it's kind of like Autodesk Inventor. The dimension is there. It's telling you how many inches it is. But instead of being able to type in, 1 inch, you can't just type in 1 inch. You actually have to click first, then type in 1 inch and enter. So you got to click the 2 points and then put in your dimension. It's kind of funky, but we'll make it work. All right, so we got 1 inch. This next line is going to be 0.25. So you're going to got to click it first and then put in your information. Next line is going to go down 0.75. Oh, there you go again. Click 0.75, enter. Click 0.75, enter. Actually, I think that should be 0.25. So if you make a mistake, it's pretty easy to fix it. It's like this 0.75. You can double click it and type in the correct thing, which should be 0.5 to fix it there. We'll just go back to the line. From here, we're just finishing out the part, right? So just go down to this bottom line, click, and then click again at this starting point. 0.75. Perfect. Okay. After you got your sketch done, we used to go over here and click the big green check mark, finish sketch, right? Well, here we have to go and click the big green check mark to finish our sketch. So click the green check mark. To rotate your view, this is rotating really kind of crazy here. To rotate your view, you can just left click your mouse. Or, sorry, I guess it's right click your mouse, and you can rotate it around a little bit. If you don't have a mouse, it'd probably be a little harder. I'm not sure if the Chromebooks have the 3 buttons or whatever underneath the trackpad. Should. So you have to press the left or the right mouse button and then move your finger around. This is going to be way easier with a mouse, guys. So if you have a mouse, a computer mouse anywhere in your house, make it 20 times easier to use this program. So extrude is up here in the top corner. I'm not sure if there's a way to go to home view, an easy way. Sure if there is an easy way to get to that. You guys find it, let me know. Maybe it's just isometric here. That seems to take you back to home view. So you can try that. We'll zoom in here to our part. We will click on extrude. Now, same thing here. You'll have to click on the parts that you want to extrude. So we're going to click on this L shape dealio. We want the depth, it looks like, to be 0.75 inches. So 3 blocks deep times 0.25 for an inch. 0.75 inches, and we will, you can do new, which is like a new solid. You can add on top of that solid. You can remove solids, intersect it. All the same stuff we had in Inventor. They're just in there. It looks a little bit different. That's all. Still works all the same ways. We'll click accept. Bam. There's our 0.75. That is our number 1. Okay. If you want to get rid of these planes, right? You can right click on them. You can hide all planes. Want to get rid of the planes, cool with me. Then you can turn it around whichever way you want. Okay, back to home view is isometric, and that looks good for number 1. So let's move on to number 2. All right, so in order to do that, we're going to have to go back to the OnShape button. We are still in our PLW. If it takes you back here, you're going to make sure that you're still in your PLW folder. You're probably just going to share that PLW folder with me. Just so I can see all your stuff, right? So we'll go ahead and create. We will make a new document. We'll title this one number 2. We'll try number 2 here. It looks like a square with a square hole in the middle. Be pretty easy. So let's do new sketch. We will select the front sketch. Click on our front. Again, we can get rid of all these planes if you want to right off the bat. That works for me too. Okay, I like a cleaner slate, I suppose. So number 2 looks like a big rectangle piece, so we're going to do the corner rectangle tool. Rectangles, we're going to start here at the origin point, I think. There we go. And again, I like the old way where I would just type in my stuff, press tab. It works a little bit differently. You got to go ahead and, let's see. This is an inch by inch tall, it looks like. 2, 3, 4, yeah. So 4 by 4, so 1 inch by 1 inch. You can go down here and play around with it, make your 2 numbers equal, whatever. I'm going to go and click. And then down here, I type in 1 inch for the bottom, enter, 1 inch for the side, enter, bam, it's already dimensioned. If you forget to do your dimensions, I'll just take this dimension out real quick. Delete dimension if I can. Not really sure if I can or not. Not a big deal. There we go. Delete sketch entity. Sure. So let's say I forgot to put dimensions on or whatever. Up here is a dimension tool. You can also press D on the keyboard. Would work as well. So click dimension. It works the same way as to Inventor. You can click on just the line and press right above it. Type in 1 for 1 inch. Or if you're dimensioning between 2 lines, like from the top to the bottom, you can click both of those lines. Same deal. Click again to the side, 1 inch, enter. So that works kind of the same way as Inventor did, which is fine. To get our middle hole, it looks like a 0.5 by 0.5 square in the middle. Oh, we'll have to show you dimension anyways, right? So click the corner rectangle tool again. I'm going to zoom in. You can use a scroll wheel to zoom in. We're going to do a new rectangle. We're going to place that rectangle in here. So again, click and click to get your rectangle in there. We can put in our dimensions here. So 0.5, enter, 0.5, enter. That'll be a 0.5 by 0.5, half inch each way. And then we'll use dimensions. Again, it's up here. You can press D on the control. See if I press D on my keyboard, it highlights that tool. So you can just press D on the keyboard. So dimension it from the top or the bottom, doesn't really matter. It needs to be 0.25. And from the side, either side is fine. Also 0.25. Okay. Now we are going to finish our sketch. Bloop. And I want to go to a corner view, so you can just click on one of those corners. We will go to extrude up here. The shortcut on the keyboard is Shift E. So if you want to do Shift E, that'll get you extrude. Or just press the extrude button. That's what I do. Okay. And now I'm going to choose which part I want to extrude. So I'm going to click on this outside ring. Now here, it should grab it all. There we go. Okay. I'm going to zoom to fit. See it there. Okay. And we want this to be a depth of 0.25 inches. So in the depth, do 0.25 inches. And you can probably press enter. Yeah, there you go. Just check it and green check mark to finish. All right, so there's your number 2. Got like a little cool ring thing, right? All right, cool deal. That's number 2. Let's go back, work on number 3. Number 3 is pretty similar. We'll go ahead and create a new document in our PL2W folder called number 3. Let that load. Okay, for number 3, we're just making like a upside down U, right? So we're gonna make a new sketch on the front. I'm gonna turn off my planes. You don't have to do this step. I just like it. It makes it a little bit cleaner. Start with a rectangle up here. Rectangle looks like you can just press G for a corner rectangle. It says hold Alt for what? What did that say? Pretty much any of these tools up here, if you just leave your mouse on top of it, it'll bring you up some more tool tips. It's like 3-point arc has some extra tips, like instructions how to use it. So the corner rectangle tool, click to indicate a starting corner point, click to indicate another diagonal corner point. So hold Alt while dragging to sketch a square. Okay, that's helpful. So if you press and hold Alt while we're on the corner rectangle, I'm pressing and holding Alt on my keyboard, it'll actually save that square. Nice. So if I don't press Alt, you get the rectangle. If you press Alt, you get the square. So that's a handy trick. We do want a square. Same thing. It can be 1 inch by 1 inch. So just press Alt, click, and we're going to type in 1, enter for a 1 inch square. All right, in this case, we do want a rectangle. Looks like it's going to be 1, 2. Let me make sure I counted this right. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So another rectangle. We're going to start this rectangle on this line down here. We're going to draw a rectangle. Again, it doesn't really matter what the size is yet until we get to this point. It's going to be 0.5 across the bottom. Enter. And it's going to be 0.75 tall. Enter. That'll get our dimensions. We're already on the bottom line, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll go over to dimension. Top. Again, press D on your keyboard if you want to. Shortcut. And from one of the sides, either side, doesn't matter. It's going to be the same either way. Is 0.25 inches. All right. And then we will go back and finish our sketch. Click on the extrude button. Shift E is your shortcut. We're going to click on this outside U shape. Like that on this. Yep. And we want that to be a depth of 0.25. There you go. All right. Click the green check mark there. Bloop. And we'll try one more for number 4. We'll see how long this takes. Let me know. If you send an email, if it takes you too long, let me know. If you think it's reasonable, don't worry about it. But if it's taken like 3 days to get this assignment done, let me know. It shouldn't. We'll see. Just depends how fast you guys can get through this. All right, so number 3 is done. We can go ahead and exit out of this one. What's really nice about this is that OnShape saves everything for you. You don't have to worry about going to File, Save every single time. That alone is worth me using this next year, right? So let's go ahead and go to the final shape on this video. We'll do number 4. let's go ahead and do number 14. Number 14, we're going to start on the, I'd start on the front side here. I'm going to hide my planes and go to the front view. So we are going to start, I'm actually going to start with my line tool. Okay, so with my line, I'm going to go up, straight up. This line is going to be, we're going to do number 14 on the picture. So it is 1, 2, like 3 blocks high. So 3 blocks is 0.75 high. Zoom in on it. It'll be 0.25. Click to go down for 0.25. Click to go over for 0.25. Click to go down and finish off that side. All right, so that's number 14. It's just all upside down P shape, right? So we are going to finish that sketch. And we will go to an isometric view. So click on the little corner up here on the front. We'll extrude this shape. We want to extrude it like 0.75 inches. Let's type in 0.75, enter, and click the green check mark. All right, so home view, isometric would be fine. There's our basic shape. We are going to add a small little square cube on the front, down here on this side. So we can sketch on top of geometry just like we could in Inventor. We're going to go to sketch. We will click on this face right here. Click on that. I want to be able to look at this. So I wonder if there is view to, let's say view normal to sketch plane. There we go. That's how you want to do it. All right. So view normal, that's what it says. View normal to sketch plane. You want to click on that, it'll look straight dead on toward it. Okay. Then we are going to sketch our rectangle. Again, we're going to sketch a square, so we can press Alt on our keyboard, if you remembered, to make that square. Again, if you release the Alt key, it's just going to make a rectangle. You can still do it that way, it's fine. If you press Alt, that just saves us a step. Okay, so pressing Alt, I'm going to just click a point. This is going to be 0.25 inches. Enter. There we go. We will use dimension. So press D on your keyboard or click that tool up here for dimension. This side to this side is going to be 0.25. Enter. That will center it. It should be 0.25, but I wonder if it's going to do driven dimension like Inventor used to. 0.25. Yeah, so if it's grayed out like that, like you can't really see it, it's there. It's just, it's a driven dimension. You can't really change, I don't think. If I try to change it, yeah, it won't even let me change it. I don't think. If I put 0.26, it's probably going to break. Yeah, which is not good. So you only need to do one side, right? If you got 2 dimensions, that's fine. If you got 3 that add up to the overall dimension, it's too many dimensions, so you don't want to do that. So again, 0.25 square on the bottom, 0.25 away from either side. You can pick whichever side you want. Finish that sketch. We're going to extrude that. Go to a isometric view again. We're going to click on the square that we just made. We don't want it to be 1 inch. This is just going to be 0.25 inches. And click the old green. You can press enter to preview it, then click the green check mark. Okay. Number 4, we can rename this actually. I'm going to rename it to number 14. All right. That's actually number 14 on the page. All right. So we've got our parts done, right? We need to figure out how we are going to share this. All right. So in order to share this with me, what I want you to do is click on the PLTW folder that you created. You're going to right click on it, or if you just click on it, you can go up here to share. Either way is fine, but you can right click on it, go to share, and all I want you to do is type in my email address there, dherbert@fccsc.k12.in.us. You can put can edit, can view. I really don't care which one. I just want to be able to see it. So if you just want to put can view there, that's fine with me. But can edit, if you just want to leave that, fine. Not a big deal. So go ahead and type in my email address there, click that share button, and that will send it to my email. And I know I've said I don't like things on my email. This, you're just going to share it once, and then whenever you submit an assignment, I'll be able to go in and check your documents. Don't worry about that. So please make sure that you go ahead and do that. And also, we're going to rename this folder as well. So right click it and go to rename folder. I want you to type in your name. Go ahead and type in your last name first. So mine would be Herbert and then Derek. So go ahead and type in your last name and your first name and then rename it, and you'll be good to go.